Well, good morning and welcome to yet another edition of Out and About. Well, not quite. Well, this is episode 41 now on this Monday morning, the 10th day of October, and thanks for joining us. Now this is episode 41, like I've said, and when we left you last time, we talked about phone manners and how important they were. Now, joining me in the studio is a very good morning to Mark English. Welcome back after 2 weeks.
Barry, it's good to be back.
And the importance of phone manners, we will open the show with that now. Do not, and we repeat, do not raise your voice if things are not going your way, or if you've received some bad news, either by phone or via email. Here's Mark now to open episode 41 with that.
Well, thank you, Barry, and good to be back. But as you said, when it comes to phone manners, it's always best to try and control your temper. It's never productive to become abusive on the phone. It just puts people offside, and whatever it is you're trying to sort out, very likely won't happen while you're in that particular frame of mind.
And it's the same with your email too. If you write a threatening email, well, that is it. It is the end of what NDIA or NDIS were trying to organize for you. Here's Mark now.
I think this applies to everyone and anyone that whilst you're trying to get things done, as long as you're civil, people will continue to try and help you. But you do tend to find that help dries up very quickly when you become abusive or personal with someone on the other end of a line or an email. So always think before you send or speak about what sort of reaction do you expect to get from whatever it is you're about to say.
So if you're abusive or rude or disrespectful, it will be wiped just like that. Here's Mark.
Absolutely. You'd expect to be wiped, and speaking from, having dealt with people on many levels about many things over the years, I have to say my demeanour is greatly helped by politeness, and if I'm trying to sort things out for people, abuse has never worked well.
And it never will. So, if you've got nothing nice to say in your emails or on the phone, that's it. Again, the phone call will be terminated, and you will be banned from emailing that person in the future. Here's Mark now.
Well, gratefully, it's never reached that stage for me, but I expect that some action would be taken, and not responding to future correspondence would be a sensible one.
And we will take a break for a moment there and stay with us. Here's Mark.
We'll be back shortly.
We'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back. This is the first part of our show today where we're just recapping on the phone manners and email etiquette. Now, like Mark and I have been saying to you, were saying to you 14 days ago, okay, it is never a good thing to have bad phone manners or bad email etiquette. Before you write the email, guys, it is very important to think about your words, think about how you are going to write the email and who you are going to send it to. Here's Mark now.
Absolutely. At least when you use emails, you've got time to think about what it is that you're saying and how that might be interpreted, and have a chance to reread what it is that you've written to see how it comes across. And as I said, as long as it sticks to the detail and doesn't become personal, then I'm sure that most emails, even if you're unhappy with something, you can get your point across without being abusive.
Because if you're abusive, guys, like we just said, bang, you will not get a good response, okay? And it might be the end of what NDIS or whoever was trying to organize whatever it was trying, or whatever, sorry. It may be the end of what you were trying to organize in the first place. Here's Mark.
Absolutely. It just drags out the process, makes it harder, and we can't say it often enough. It will not achieve a satisfactory outcome when you become abusive.
Because the NDIS, right, they may ring you and say, we are very sorry that you've rung us so many times, abused us, you were rude. This is an example, okay? And you will be blacklisted. Here's Mark.
As I said before, never gone that far, so I don't know, but just keep calm.
So keeping calm, guys, is the only way to go. Here's Mark.
Absolutely, Barry. We have a lot of frustrations getting things done, and there seems to be an inordinate amount of red tape attached to organising anything these days, which can be frustrating, but it's all somebody's job and it all has to be done. And we're all in the same position depending on what we do. So at some stage, what goes around comes around, and you've just got to think about what you get back when it's your turn to be on the receiving end.
And if you want respect from people on the phone or in your emails, you've got to be polite about it. Here's Mark.
Yep, just keep it clean, keep it neat, stick to facts, and as I said, don't make things personal.
And don't make things up. Don't play the blame game either. Here's Mark.
Yep, well, this all just keeps coming back to exactly the same thing. It doesn't matter what issue you've got, you've just got to stay calm, stick to facts, and don't make it personal.
And don't make things up, because it can really hurt people too. If you feel that strong about it, you can either ring the person up, invite them to your house for a cup of tea or coffee, and let it all out. But at the same time, like Mark and I've said, okay, being abusive on the phone, no, that doesn't work. And it doesn't work in your email either. Here's Mark now.
Yep. As we keep saying, you've just got to stick to facts. Make sure that you keep an even tone and think about what it is you expect to get back from your behaviour. If you think that abusing someone is going to achieve an outcome, you're very wrong. So, just bear in mind how people would prefer to be treated.
Because treat people how you would like to be treated. Here's Mark.
Yep, absolutely. We need to feel that we're in control of our own little destinies, and to achieve that, we've actually got to respect other people's positions in the world as well. So, as Barry keeps saying, you've got to show respect and treat people the way you'd expect.
Well, we're going to take a break now on the show, and it's a breakfast time now on the show. Here's Mark.
So we're doing out and about breakfast style. Sorry to disappoint everyone, it's cornflakes.
And we will be back with you to tell you what's coming up on today's show.
See you soon.
See you soon, everyone. Welcome back, everybody. This is Barry, Bear, and Mark. English with you. It's 20 minutes to 11 on this Monday morning. A grayish Monday morning, and welcome along to you. And this morning we've opened the show with phone manners and email etiquette. Rejoining me back in the studio. Good morning once again, Mark.
Thank you, Barry. Good to be back.
And this is episode 41, by the way. And the episodes are slowly creeping up to that 50 mark. So, like we were saying before the break, guys, you must never, ever raise your voice. Here's Mark now to reopen, or to open, I should say, the second part of episode 41 with this.
Absolutely, Barry. And you just can't say it often enough. So stay calm, be pleasant to people, and
This is my self-stirring mother, right?
and it works a treat.
Have a cup of Lipton tea while we're doing the show. Well, the second part.
And it actually is tea.
And it is tea. So, ways of controlling your mood, guys, is, you know what this is? A cup of tea. Here's Mark now.
So I'm assuming the message there is have a cup of tea and calm down.
Yeah, or a cup of coffee. But remember, guys, don't take your anger out on someone else. Here's Mark now.
Absolutely, it's not going to work out to achieve any useful outcome. It might achieve an outcome. It's one that you can't often come back from. So it always works out better to stay calm, try and achieve what it is that you've set out to do, and just roll your eyes later.
And think, okay, I've received the bad news. Do I sit in my room and sulk, or talk to someone? Here's Mark now.
Well, there might be a bit of both, but make sure by the time you're going to engage with someone about it, that you've got an open mind and that your mind's working towards resolution rather than just retribution for being unhappy about your position in the world at the moment.
Because it's no good, because you're not only letting yourself down over this, but the people around you as well. Here's Mark.
Yeah, it's very hard for us to hide our negative feelings. However, absolutely putting them out there on display, it doesn't create a good environment for achieving the outcome that you want to, and the people around you who aren't involved become involved because of your mood.
So please, as we put episode 41 together today, please take away some of the things we've talked about and open episode 41 with. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, absolutely. It'd be nice to think that somebody will listen and change the way they behave and the way they act towards others, and make it a better world for everyone, to be honest.
Well, we're sorry that we didn't bring episode 41 to you last week, mainly because I was having a medical episode. Here's Mark.
Well, Barry was having a medical episode and I was having a long weekend episode. So I managed to miss Barry's hospital episode by being away at the time.
So luckily this episode didn't go to where.
Yeah, nobody wants to see that.
So just before we go to where is it, we're going to.
Well, check that smile. I'm going to guess we're going to have a little bit of razzle dazzle in our lives today and head back to time zone.
Yep, and that's where we're heading to in 15 minutes. So, the important thing is, guys, and we put this episode together today, please, and we repeat, please, take away some of the things we've talked about. Write them down. Give Mark.
Yeah, it's just a matter of, I don't know what tricks you've got to do to control yourself, but, stop and count to 10. Take a few deep breaths. Whatever it is that you've got to do to calm yourself down, make sure when you engage, you've calmed down.
Because if you're not calm, okay, what can happen is your brain is set in one frame of mind that you can't think. Here's Mark.
Absolutely. And it makes it difficult to hear properly, as in actually understand what's being said to you. And I find that most of the time it's communication issues that lead to the disputed points in the first place. So, better to try and keep an open mind and work to understand and work together with the person to achieve the outcome that you want.
But like we said earlier, okay, if you're angry with the person and they don't want to engage with you, well, you have to respect that. Here's Mark.
Absolutely. People don't want to engage with you when you're angry. It ruins their day. It doesn't help your day. You're far better off waiting until you've calmed down before you decide you're going to deal with issues.
And it's no good saying, I'm gonna get back at you for this, 'cause that's a threat. Here's Mark.
Well, you've just moved it to a completely new level, which is, yes, against the law, not just bad behaviour, but threatening people is not legal. So I'd suggest that calming down would be a seriously good thing to do if you've reached that point.
So please do not, and we repeat, do not threaten people in person or in your email. It doesn't work. Or it won't gel, because people want to spread your threats on their toast in the morning for their breakfast? No. Would they want to have it for their lunch? No. Would they want to have it for their dinner? No. Here's Mark.
Absolutely. Seeing as how we've escalated to a brand new level of bad behaviour, it is absolutely not on to threaten people. And you do tend to find that you're threatening people that are there to help you. And if I need to explain that that's counterproductive, then there's probably not much point in speaking to you at all.
Well, we're going to head off now to Windsor Pilling, and we will see you there. So here's Mark now to close the second part of our show with what we've interacted on.
Yeah, absolutely. And Barry's right. There's just no place for threatening people under any circumstances for any reason. It's just not acceptable behaviour, and it again will rarely end well. So please just take a chill pill.
And to take us out,
a calming cup of tea.
Yeah, because it's the only way, ladies and gentlemen, that you are going to achieve the outcome. Here is Mark now to reenact on that.
Well, I wish you all luck in trying to learn to moderate behaviour and calming down before you deal with issues that obviously upset you. So, good luck.
And don't argue with the person too, either, we should say. Because should we argue? No. Should we say, I'm going to get back at you for this? No. Should you say, I'm going to come to your house and deal with you person, deal with you and threaten you? Is that the way to go? No. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, I'm absolutely sure that we've covered the point that it's not acceptable behaviour. Treat people the way you'd like to be treated, and do not try to engage when you're upset.
So we're going to continue episode 41 out and in the pill. So up next, Bruce with his trusty cap. Hopefully it's not smashed to smithereens at the back and the side like it was 2 weeks ago when we came to you last. Here's Mark with that.
Yeah, so it had a minor bingle and calmed down rather nicely. So didn't affect us in any way. So hopefully it hasn't happened again.
So Bruce is up next, and our program today is proudly brought to you in part by Black and White Taxis. And this is Barry Theron, Mark English. Welcome to episode 41, guys. Stay with us. The show is far from over. Here he is to tell you what's coming up.
All right, so we have Bruce picking us up shortly, and then the crosstown taxi ride, and but then the lights of
Time
zone.
And stay with us, guys. The show is far from over. And to take us out, isn't it? Lipton tea. You can't beat it, can you? See you soon, guys.
See you soon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Out and About with Mark English and Barry Fear here. And where are we? I don't have to tell you.
It's time zone.
It
Doesn't matter where.
doesn't matter where, but today we're doing a review on this product right here. And joining me now outside on location, it's a very good afternoon to Mark English.
Afternoon, Barry. So, the product that Barry's talking about is his sandwich from Soul Origin.
And let's see what we've got on it today, guys. So let's have a look.
All right. I'm guessing that
And look at that, guys.
it's just all paper. So, that's not going to be very appetizing.
So inside here, we have look at that
Chicken Smitty sandwich.
chicken schnitzel sandwich, well toasted, and with an orange juice as well. So let's start on in.
Well, you're going to give it a little cut up so you can eat it.
So we'll just cut this baby up first, and then we'll cut on in. So while Mark is cutting up my food, okay, and whilst I'm having a dip of my orange juice, please do not threaten anybody on the phone or in your email. We open the show with all this, and we are going to continue our doing this week. And this is episode 41 today, here on Out and About. Now here's Mark to tell you about what we've cut so far.
What Mark's going to tell you is the wooden knives that you get from takeaways, utterly useless.
And there you have it. You see,
There's my review on wooden knives.
there is review on wooden knives. Now,
There we go, I just cut a piece of bread.
there you go. It's just had a piece of bread. Now, it is very important to behave very appropriately during a phone call and in your emails as well. Because what can happen, guys, if you grab anybody on the phone or in your email, that is virtually it, especially with the NDIA there, okay, because they would terminate whatever they were organising for you, and you will have to organise the rest yourself. Here, so here we are now,
Teasing you.
teasing me, and here it is.
Get this.
So, this here is chicken schnitzel. So we will first take a break and come back to you on this, and see you soon. Well, good afternoon, everybody, again. Welcome back to Out and About with Mark English and Barry here. Coming up to 2 o'clock here, Brisbane time, and 3 o'clock Sydney time. Well, today we've been talking about phone manners and email etiquette, but we'll get to that more in a moment. Now, today for lunch I had a beautiful chicken schnitzel sandwich, and here's Mark to tell you about it now.
Well, all I can tell you about it is it looked fantastic, and then Barry ate it. So the rest of the story is his.
I've had chicken schnitzel, salad, and well-toasted bread.
Very well toasted bread. I've already done my review on the knives, the wooden knives. They don't work.
And Solar Origin is the place to come to, guys. So that's it over there. You've got the muffin break here.
So what was it? Yeah, Soul Origin. That was where the sandwich came from.
And how much did it cost, Mark?
That's an excellent question. I didn't check. About $10.
Around about that. So that's the lunch with you guys. So, on with the rest of episode 41 now. Today, like we've been saying, Mark and I have been discussing how we should speak to each other on the phone and not threaten one another. Here he is now to open part 3 And our final segment with that.
Yeah. This doesn't necessarily have to be restricted to when you're on the phone or sending emails. It seems an excellent piece of advice for everyday living and every interaction that you have with other people.
But if you were on the phone like we said back in the studio, nothing. You're not going to get the response you are after.
Exactly.
Here's Mark now.
Yep, this is about finding new and improved ways to help you help yourself, really. So if you can be patient with other people and don't get upset, the one that really benefits is you. So your anger directed at other people just gives them a story to tell when they go home.
Okay, and don't goblin for either. Here's Mark.
Interesting discussion you've just opened up, Barry. So, when you say don't dob, please explain.
Well, don't dob means don't go behind people's backs.
Absolutely. If you, I think the point that you really want to make is if you've got an issue with what someone's doing, bring it up. Face to face. Don't run behind their back and tackle. Deal with it yourself. It's usually just a matter of, again, a confident but open and honest approach to how you communicate with people and say what you mean.
And don't be sarcastic about it either. Here's Mark.
Unfortunately, it doesn't serve a purpose to be sarcastic. Again, it's just there to be misinterpreted by anybody listening. So,
and anybody watching our broadcast today on this should take some of the advice away, like writing notes in a notebook or whatever. Okay, so because it's very rude to go behind someone's back. Okay. Yeah, right, and because this is really serious, guys, don't just say, oh, such and such did this or such and such didn't do that. Here's Mark.
yes, in that context, you're absolutely right, Barry. If you've got an issue with what people do and who don't do and how they go about it and every other little thing that you can think of that annoys you, you need to speak to them rather than wander away and
Tell someone else
who either didn't see it and doesn't have the same level of knowledge as you have with regards to what's going on.
And also, don't be disrespectful to them because you could lose that trust. Here's Mark.
Well, this goes back to your comment about being sarcastic. Being sarcastic is disrespectful and it just confuses the issue. If you say something that you don't mean, then what are people left to think?
So don't just think, oh, that's typical, and it's not the way to go. Here's Mark.
Absolutely. If you're dealing with issues, just being straight and honest and saying exactly what you mean without sarcasm is the only way to get it sorted.
Because if you're rude and sarcastic, guys, who's going to help you organize things in the future? Nobody.
Exactly.
Because, like, It's the same if you want to go for a trip back to wherever you came from to visit. Are they going to organise it for you? No, because you're going to have to do it yourself. Here's Mark now.
Absolutely. It's just a fact of life that the only person that truly knows what you want is you. So it makes sense that the one holding the reins over what's happening should be yourself.
And be respectful to the company that you're speaking to. Like the logo on Mark's shirt here. Here's Mark.
I quite don't know what that means, but
Ayla is the name of the company.
yes,
Okay, so be respectful to them, guys, if you are working with someone from that company. Okay, because today is a very important program on treating people with respect on the phone and in your email. Because don't just get on the phone and say, I'm going to come around to your workplace or your home, and go bang, 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 and then the person opens the door to you, and you go, well, I hope you're satisfied. That's just an example. Here's Mark.
yeah, well, you hope it never gets that far. Apart from the fact that that's utterly criminal behaviour and cannot be justified under any circumstances, you know, that's if things get to bang, 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 it's all been a mess, to be honest, because you know, if you realise that you're not going to get what you want from someone, then either walk away or pick someone else.
But don't dare, please, don't dare tell someone that you hope that you're unsatisfied. Here's Mark.
Well, I suppose the only thing you can do is keep talking until you are satisfied with whatever it is you're trying to achieve. And sometimes it is easier to step away and put things on paper, so to speak. Things need to be explained clearly, mostly succinctly, and hopefully people will help. But being abusive is not going to achieve an outcome in any way.
Because anyone on the phone or in your email, guys, who have you got to blame for it? Not Mark, not myself, not anyone, but yourself. Here he is.
I can't answer that.
Here's an example. Someone was rude to Mark. How would Mark deal with it?
These days, I usually just walk away.
Well, that would be the same. But before I did walk away, I would say, okay, I'm trying my best to help you, and you're abusing me. Here's Mark.
Yep, that's again, it's exactly the same argument. It doesn't matter which side you're on. You've just got to stay calm and it'll work out. As soon as you lose your temper, it's all gone.
That's right.
Doesn't matter which side.
And no one will want to acknowledge you or respond to your email. So, you know, guys, if you say threaten anybody in your email or on the phone example, that is it. Totally, the trust is gone and the respect that the person has to you is also gone. Here's Mark.
Yes, it's interesting. I think people confuse courtesy and respect. I feel obliged to be courteous to people, but I have to admit, I think the word respect is overused. Courtesy is a generally acceptable thing, and doesn't require any previous knowledge. So I have to admit, for me to respect someone, I would really have to know them.
And like, if you want some respect after you're out first, well, you have to gain it back. Here's Mark.
If you can.
If you can.
Yes. All you can do, if you lose it, is apologise and hope that they accept.
But saying sorry all the time, it doesn't cut it. Here's Mark.
No, persistent behaviours where if you find yourself constantly apologising for the same bad behaviour, perhaps you have a bigger, harder look at yourself to try and stop needing to apologise to people.
And we hope that this important video today we hope that this important video today will teach you people how to treat each other on the phone and on an email. Think about your words, what you're going to say in your email, okay? Because this is very important. Don't just like threatening sentences like I'm going to come down here or there and bang on the door or whatever and say I'm going to wring your neck or whatever, because that is a threat. Here's Mark now.
Yes, I think the message about not threatening people shouldn't even need to be said, but it's too painfully obvious that there's no coming back from threatening people.
Because what are you going to get from threatening people? What are you going to be the one person? Is it Mark, myself, anyone else? No, but you. Here's Mark now.
Yes, I would just walk away.
I just say, and please do take away some of the things we talked about today on the show. And here's Mark.
Yep. Just being courteous to each other shouldn't be something that you feel the need to even talk about. But you can tell we've laboured the point, and there's a reason for that. The general rule of thumb seems to be abuse first, pleasant inquiry never. So it just needs to be toned down into a functional two-way conversation when you're dealing with people. So that's really all I can say.
And the same here. But don't blame other people because you had some bad news. Okay? Think about it. You can either do two things. Okay? Sit somewhere talking and not talk about it. Okay? Or tell someone how you feel. But the choice is yours. Here's Mark now.
How you respond to absolutely everything in life is a choice, and it's your choice. So that is absolutely consistent. Anything that happens in a bad sense in that regard after you've gone ballistic on someone is 100% on you, not acceptable, and there's really, again, not a lot more that can be said other than you get back what you put out. So if you are rude to people, ignorant, abusive, and all of that is just an insight into you, and people don't buy into it.
And, right, yeah, okay. If someone was rude to me, I'd say, okay, I'm going to have to either come down and see you personally so we can talk about this, or just walk away. Here's Mark.
Yep, Barry's right, that's all you can do.
So, don't just say I'm going to come around and threaten you because the police will be on to you and you can be charged. Here's Mark.
Well, why should it ever get that far? Just why abuse people in the first place?
And that's the question you've got to ask yourself out there. Because believe you and me, Mark and I do not tolerate that. And this is where we like to bring this important show to a close. And I feel it's a very important topic. And before we do head off today, thank you for joining us. The number we rely on 24 hours a day, you know what it is, 3 donuts. Do not ring that number unless you've got an emergency, guys. And here's Mark to close this very important show with.
Absolutely. In fact, recent personal experience would suggest that how busy things are when extensive wait times for ambulances were experienced recently, and there's not a lot you can do about it if they're prioritising calls to the most needy, and they've got work to do. And when it's backed up like that, you can guarantee that they need the phone to be clear.
So thank you guys for joining us today here on episode 41. And we'll wrap it up back at the studio. And we certainly hope that you learned something from this important video. Episode 42 coming up next Monday. So you have a great Monday night, everybody. Here's Mark for you. Farewell.
Thanks, Barry. And yep, have a great week. We look forward to seeing you next week. And as we keep reminding you, please contact us. Let us know if you've got any ideas about things that you'd like to see in Brisbane. And put Barry through his paces to see how accessible or not it is, etc.
And thank you for watching this all important video. We felt that this was an important video for you to view because some people are very abusive on the phone. Mark had an experience at New Farm 2 weeks ago. Here he is.
Well, it got the response that we've been talking about, which was it ended up, I said, well, it's been very nice talking to you, but luckily this is a phone. And I hung up. Didn't think about it again until right now.
So, thank you everyone for tuning in, and we will see you back at Bray Park. Cruises coming up very shortly for our return journey, and we'll see you very soon.
See you soon.
And join us for episode 42 next Monday, 10 o'clock. Until then, from Andrew Crowley now, Barry Fair and Mark English, wishing you a very pleasant Monday afternoon.
Take care.
Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Well, we've come to the end of another film, an episode 41. Thank you for joining us here today. A few closing messages that we would like to remind you of. Do not, and we repeat, do not threaten anybody on the phone with your language, abusive behavior, and so on. Rejoining me now back in the studio to rediscuss this. Good afternoon to Mark English.
Thanks, Barry. Good to be back. And yeah, I think you've absolutely covered it when it comes to behaviour, when it trying to get things done with either, well, with anyone, to be honest, for any reason.
So, like I just read there, I am planning a holiday down to Sydney to see my friends. And it's not all bad news. Here's Mark.
Well, I didn't see any bad news, except that there's still things to organise. So it sounds like it's going ahead and it should be fun.
So, just reminding you guys, today's show was important because, to me, threatening people on the phone, well, you won't get anywhere with it. Okay, you're not gonna get anywhere with threatening people, like saying, I hope you're satisfied, and all of this, and it just doesn't work. And saying I'll come round and threaten you, that's not gonna work either. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, there's no place for threatening for any reason. So it's not even worth discussing, to be honest. It never happened.
But I feel it should be discussed, because for those of you that haven't watched our previous videos yet, well, now is the time to tune in. Here's Mark.
Yeah, it's not the first time we've spoken about behaviour and being civil to people and just generally treating people like you would like to be treated yourself. And it comes back to the same thing every time. Take the time to calm down.
And like you saw this morning, before we left, I was having a cup of tea just to demonstrate what you should do, and that's what all of you should do out there if you receive some bad news. Here's Mark now.
Yeah, whatever it takes to just take the time to calm down is all you have to do. So can't really add to that. It's whatever calms you down.
Well, that's just about it we've got time for, or that's all we've got time for, I should say, on Out and About for this week. Join us for episode 42 coming up next week, and we are going somewhere new next week, so we will bring the show to you there. Our taxi driver was recommending a new shopping centre. Here's Mark to tell you about it.
Yeah, so next week, new place, and well, we hope that we'll get to a new place, and both the weather gods and the taxi gods are smiling on us. So you'll have to tune in next week to see where the final choice of destination lands up.
Or should you be saying, you'll have to tune in to find out where we bring episode 42 to you.
Quite right.
So, and the number that we rely on, 24 hours a day, I mentioned this at Indrapilli, okay? You know what it is, 000. Please do not ring that number unless you've got a time critical emergency, and don't be a fool with it. It's simple as that. Here's Mark now to close episode 41 and Out and About with that.
Thank you very much. And in closing, I agree with Barry. Do not abuse 000. It's a very important service that's provided for everybody's benefit, and abusing it both negates its value and interferes with its capacity to do what it's there for, which is help people. So only use it if you've got, as Barry said, a time-sensitive emergency. And we look forward to seeing you next week.
For episode 42
Exactly.
of Out and About. You've been watching episode 41 today, and we hope that you are enjoying the series. And like we say, if you've got anywhere you'd like us to cover, please let us know about it. We'd like to hear from you. Whether it's shopping centre, the Story Bridge, Brisbane River, you name it, it's all there. So please drop us a line, write to us, ring us, and we'll gladly tell you whether we can cover it or not. So on that note, that's all we've got time for on Out and About for this week. Thanks for your company this Monday, and we will see you again at the same time Monday morning, 10 o'clock. You know when we bring the show to you. So until we see you again in 7 days' time, stay safe, have a good time, and enjoy watching this show. Here's Mark for his farewell now.
Yeah. Look forward to seeing you all next week. And in the meantime, please be kind to each other.
And if you've got a problem, sort it out in an adult-like way. and don't blame anyone if you had any bad news. There's no need for it. So I'm off to push today's show on up on YouTube now. Thanks for your company on episode 41 today, and we'll see you again next week for another edition of Out and About. You've been watching episode 41, and you know where we bring the show to you each week. Thanks for your company, and we will see you again in 7 days from now. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of week, and we will see you again next Monday for another edition of Out and About. Until then, from Mark English and myself, Barry Fair, have a pleasant week. We'll see you next week. Here's Mark.
See you then. Have a great week, all.
Have a great week, and we'll see you next time around on Out and About, because you know what it is. Have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.